In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Royal Broen Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. I'm Greg Sexton. You're watching the SPU webcast this afternoon. We got a couple of good games here for you. First up, the men of Seattle Pacific University, the Falcons taking on the Red Leafs of Simon Fraser University, our neighbors to the north in Burnaby, British Columbia. If you haven't been there, go visit. It's beautiful. And both of these teams coming off of great wins on Thursday night. Simon Fraser picked up their first conference win. They're 5-10 coming into this game. They're 1-4 now in conference play. And they beat Montana State Billings in Billings on Thursday night by 15. So a big win for them. Seattle Pacific went to 2-2 in conference play on Thursday night with a win over Western Washington, 97-86 in that one. The Simon Fraser won theirs 82-67 in Billings. Falcons are 6-9 overall. So both these teams with sub 500 records overall. Falcons at 500 in conference, and Simon Fraser at 1-4 in conference as well. But both teams coming off big wins Thursday night. As I mentioned, Falcons shot 71% overall from the floor, 69% from three-point range. Shots were just falling all night for Seattle Pacific. Simon Fraser shot the ball quite well on Thursday as well, 52% overall from the floor, 61% from downtown. And let's go. I'm looking forward to this one here this afternoon. Simon Fraser, coached by Steve Hansen, he's in his 9th season. He's going to go with Tate Christensen, a redshirt sophomore from North Vancouver, British Columbia. Irish Kokia, a sophomore from Vancouver. Lenz DuPont, a junior from Montreal, Quebec. Luke Howard, a junior from Abbotsford, British Columbia. And Matisse Van Bylant, a redshirt sophomore from North Vancouver, British Columbia. The Falcons are coached by Kefri Fazio. He's in his 2nd season as the coach of the Falcons. He's going to go with Owen Moriarty, a junior out of Seattle. Jackson Knapp, a junior from Newcastle, Washington. Jonas Latour, a redshirt sophomore from Poulsbo, Washington. Mason Landek, a redshirt junior from Kashmir, Washington. And Nikias Schunerstedt, a junior from Vienna, Austria. As Falcons without Trace Evans for a 4th straight game. They've won the last 2, though, and now they're also without Henry Sandberg, as he has gotten the nod in the starting lineup for the majority of their, I believe all their games until this one. I'll double check that. But Falcons are without Evans and Sandberg. And so just 10 active players today. As here is Landek, who has started several games for the Falcons, came off the bench on Thursday night, scored 21 points, including a couple of really big threes late in the ballgame. There's Latour missing, and Knapp goes around Howard and lays it up and in. Jackson Knapp snatching the offensive rebound for the Falcons and being able to get up a shot. As here come the Red Leafs the other way. Here's Kokia. Kokia spins around Landek and puts it in. Irish Kokia starts it off for the Red Leafs. And he has been playing out of his mind lately. Had a solid stat line, including 17 points, but had 7 assists and 5 rebounds at Billings on Thursday. Luke Howard had 29 points and 6 boards. And Luke Howard is actually the GNAC leader in scoring, as Owen Moriarty takes one too many steps trying to get into the lane there and turns it over. The Red Leafs will take it back. Kokia with 17, as I mentioned, on Thursday, but the last 3 before that, all over 20. And he's got the ball out on top now, being guarded by Knapp. As the Falcons play a zone here. And Kokia, again, Knapp is guarding the top. Now Schunerstedt comes out onto him. Landek is going to guard the 3 there from Christensen, and it's off the mark, but the Red Leafs with the offensive rebound and a bucket there. Lenz DuPont gets to the glass and lays it up and in. And the Red Leafs lead it 4-2. Falcons back the other way. Here's Schunerstedt, who hasn't started a lot of games this year. He spins there at the top. And Knapp now with some contact with Van Bylant, and Van Bylant is called for the foul. Be a non-shooting foul, so the Falcons will take it out underneath with 17:58 to play here in the first half. And Landeck will get it into Schoenerstedt and then come back to the top to get it. Here's Moriarty going to take a three from the right wing, and that one rims in. And the Falcons go up 5-4. Owen Moriarty, one of the leading scorers in the GNAC as well. He's actually tied for second now at 17.3 points per game. Howard at 17.9. And Howard puts the shot up and in off the glass. And he will go to the line for and one as Luke Howard, the junior out of Abbotsford, British Columbia, to the free throw line here. And both Howard and Kokia, very good shooters from the floor. Howard makes the free throw. He's 63% at the free throw line. But both of them, Howard and Kokia, shoot 49% from the floor overall and 42% from distance. As Howard with the three-point play puts the Red Leafs back in front 7-5. Here's Knapp in the post, and he'll bring it back out. Latour, a quick three on the way, and he puts it in. Jonas Latour can hit that, and normally a quick release like that, you don't like to see it too often earlier on in the shot clock, but you'll take it if it's Jonas Latour shooting it. Kokia guarded by Schoenerstedt, and there's some contact there. Kokia hangs on to it, and now Howard puts up the jumper over Knapp and does not connect on it. Falcons the other way, leading 8-7. Here's Jackson Knapp on the left baseline. Over to the right baseline, Jonas Latour in the corner, couldn't get it to go. Latour hit a three a moment ago from the top and couldn't get the corner three to go down. As this one is thrown away, it's actually, it was checking to see if a Falcon actually deflected it out, but no, it's thrown away by Linz DuPont out of bounds. And the Falcons will take it back. Here's Moriarty. Gets it to the top for Landeck. Landeck guarded by Van Bylant. Now Moriarty gets a screen from Schoenerstedt. Loops it back to him. Schoenerstedt to the bucket. Howard with the block. And they're going to get him for a goaltend. Give Schoenerstedt the bucket. And that's his first two of the ball game. And Howard called for the goaltend. Howard averaging more than a little over one block shot per game, which is among the GNAC leaders. Luke Howard and Irish Kokia both among the league leaders in a lot of statistical categories. Kokia is, I believe, second in assists per game, as Howard is fouled, and that's going to go on Moriarty. That'll take us to our first timeout on the floor here. 15:43 to go first half. Falcons lead the Red Leafs 10-7, and we'll be right back on the SBU webcast in just a moment. Welcome back inside Royal Brown Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons lead the Red Leafs 10-7 as Jonas Latour and Owen Moriarty each with 3 points in this one, both on three-pointers. And Luke Howard had a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. He's got 3. Here's Kokia taking a corner 3 and puts it in. Right off the inbounds pass, Kokia knocks down the 3 from the corner, and now he has 5 in the ball game. 10 apiece here. And Moriarty will get it to Knapp. Knapp finds Latour. He had to reach back for it, but he's able to get the shot up off the glass and in. And the Falcons retake the lead 12-10. Kokia driving on Landak. And they're going to call him for carrying the ball. And Falcons will take it back the other way. Kokia didn't like the call. But they do call him for the carry. And Landak will bring it the other way for SPU. Here's Schoenerstedt to Knapp. And now Schoenerstedt takes it back. Driving on Howard. And kicks it over to Latour for a 3. And that one rims off. And Howard pulls down the rebound. And the Red Leafs the other way. Here's Howard driving into traffic. Kicks it. Tried to kick it back to Kokia. And Moriarty gets the steal. And the Falcons back the other way. Moriarty had it knocked away from behind, and now it's loose on the floor. And this one's going to the Red Leafs as it goes out of bounds. And so Red Leafs create a turnover after the Falcons did on the other end. Grant Coleman in for SPU, as is Logan Kinlock. And Jovan Rye in for Simon Fraser. Jovan Rye, a redshirt senior out of Markham, Ontario. Grant Coleman out of Savoy, Illinois. And Logan Kinlock out of Yakima, Washington. Here's Rye. Kicks it out to Howard for a 3, and that one goes down for Luke Howard. And the Red Leafs retake the lead, 13-12. A few lead changes here in the early going. Almost 6 minutes in. Julian Mora in as well for SPU. And he's out of Bend, Oregon. Here's Kinlock. Gets it in the post for Jackson Knapp. Knapp feeds Mora going to the bucket. Good find there from Knapp. And Mora right at the bucket lays it up and in. And the Falcons retake the lead, 14-13. Couple of players collapsing on Knapp, and he was able to find the open man. Here is Kokia from the top, and that one misses. And I think they're going to get Knapp for a foul. No, they're going to get Julian Mora for a foul on the rebound. And so the Red Leafs will keep it. So Mora with the bucket on one end and then commits the foul on the rebound on the other end. And that extends the possession for Simon Fraser. Rye left it behind, goes back to get it. And now gets into the lane and lays it up and in over Coleman. And puts the Red Leafs back in front. Jovan Rye with his first 2. Here's Mora finding Knapp. He's going to take the 3, the lefty, and that one is off the mark from Jackson Knapp. Falcons have a lot of good three-point shooters. Knapp can hit from out there too, but that's not really his strong suit. He's over 10 points per game and over 9 rebounds per game. Red Leafs with possession and a 1-point lead. And now a 3 on the way from Van Bylant is off the mark, and there's Knapp for the rebound. Knapp, the leading rebounder in the GNAC. Nobody else. He's got a 9.3. Nobody else over 8 per game. As a foul committed by Jovan Rye. Knapp will go to the bench. Latour will come back on for SPU. And Moriarty to inbound to Coleman. Here's Moriarty. Going around Rye. Double team, kicks it to Kinlock. And now Coleman's going to take a 3, and that one well off the mark. Hit the glass. I don't know if it caught any rim. But Coleman can hit from out there. This one, though, fumbled away by Howard out of bounds. as he did not gain control of that one. Lost it out of bounds, and the Falcons take it back the other way. They trail by a point. A few lead changes here in the early going as Moriarty gets it to Latour. Hands off to Mora. Coleman now back to Moriarty. And now Kinlock with it. Here's Mora. He's looking for somebody. Good defense here by the Red Leafs on this possession. Mora going to take a three and does not hit the iron as it goes out of bounds. That's going to take us to a timeout on the floor as the Red Leafs have a couple of subs on. We'll see who they come out with after the timeout. 11:50 to play here in the first half, and we'll be right back on the SPU webcast.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as Simon Fraser returns to the floor. Sasha Vujacic is out there, as is Toby Eza Okafor, and I'm going to need to say that a couple of times to get it down. Eza Okafor passes it in to Vujacic, and I'm going to struggle with that one as well. Christensen misses the shot, and the Falcons come the other way with it. Here's Landek. As Schoenerstedt will take the pass from Mora. Now Mora getting the screen from Schoenerstedt, puts up the shot, and one. Mora fouled on the jumper from the corner, about 15 feet out. Kefri Fazio wanting his team to come over quickly. The four on the floor besides Mora, as he has a little word with them. Julian Mora to the free throw line and makes the free throw. As coming back in now, Tariq Brown. Actually, I think he's on the floor for the first time for the Red Leafs as Rye comes out. And the Falcons now with the lead 17-15. Here's Kokia. Stepping back, shooting over Schoenerstedt, and comes up short, but Brown is there for the rebound before the shot goes out of bounds. And now here is Eza Okafor to put it up and in as he went baseline there and hit the floater. Eza Okafor with two. And now Landek driving will bring it back out. Leave it for Schoenerstedt. Schoenerstedt loops it over to Mora, who gets it to Kinlock in the corner, and Logan Kinlock hits the three. And the Falcons lead it 20-17. Here's Kokia the other way to Vujacic. And now Kokia takes it back. Here's Eza Okafor with a three on the way, and he knocks it in and ties the game at 20. As back-to-back buckets by Toby Eza Okafor. And the Falcons back the other way now with the score tied again. Mora for Latour. And now Landeck is going to take a 3, and that one is off the mark, but the long rebound comes right out to Schoenerstedt. Landeck with a good pass there to Coleman, going to the bucket, make it to Schoenerstedt. Coleman is not on the floor right now. That was Schoenerstedt that got back and was cutting to the basket, and he's fouled. Moriarty and Knapp come back in for SPU, and Howard and Lenz DuPont back in for Simon Fraser. Good ball game here in the early going, a little over 10 minutes in. And Schoenerstedt, actually, they're going to say that the foul was on the floor. They don't give him free throws. And so the Falcons missed the shot, and the Red Leafs will take it the other way. Here's Kokia with Schoenerstedt out on top guarding him. And Kokia will go around him and kick it out to Eza Okafor, who will bring it back out. 5 on the shot clock. Eza Okafor is going to shoot over Knapp, and that one is off the mark. Eza Okafor with his last 2 shots before that one, but that one was really, the shot clock was running down, and he had to get one up. Here's Knapp, and he is tripped up. Eza Okafor went down first, and then Knapp falls down, and no call either way, and the Red Leafs take it the other direction. Here's Kokia. Kokia gets to the bucket and couldn't get it to go. Knapp there for the rebound. And here's Moriarty the other way. Plows into Howard. Puts it in. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Owen Moriarty. That was one of those block charge calls where those are difficult for the officials to make on the spot. But they do get Moriarty for the charge on that one. And the Red Leafs take it back. Score still tied at 20, and Lenz DuPont bringing it up the floor now as Kokia goes to the bench. And we get a foul going the other way here. Or, not sure what the call was there. They did call a foul on Tariq Brown. So the Falcons take it back the other way. And here's Latour taking it to the bucket, lays it up and in. And Latour puts the Falcons back in front. He's got 7, and it's 22-20. Latour, when his career started here at SPU, he was a great three-point shooter. He's had that in his arsenal the whole time. As here's a 3 on the way from Howard off the mark. But we've seen Latour put on some muscle, become a better post player. And there's Landeck with the offhand there, puts it up and in. And it's 24-20, Landeck with his first 2 of the game. But we saw Latour take it to the bucket a moment ago. And then Landeck does the same thing. Here is DuPont, and the Falcons definitely could have been called for a foul there, but they're not. Here's Moriarty, a 3 on the other end, and that one's off the mark. Rebound to Howard. And the Red Leafs will take it back, down 4, with just over 7 minutes to play here in the first half. And DuPont will get it to Tariq Brown. Here's a long 2 on the way from Howard, and that one is off the mark. And the Red Leafs have missed their last few shots here. Falcons the other way. Knapp driving to his left. And now we'll kick it back out. Moriarty will get it back to Knapp. Knapp left it behind. And now a foul is going to be called on Van Bylant. And that'll take us to the under 8 timeout. 24-20, Falcons with the lead. And we'll be right back on the SPU webcast in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 24-20, the Falcons lead it. They're shooting 53% from the floor on 10 out of 19, and the Red Leafs shooting 8 out of 19. That is 42%. Red Leafs shooting 38% beyond the arc, and the Falcons 27% out there. And each team has hit one free throw, 1 out of 1 in the game. Falcons with the slight edge in rebounds, 10-9, as Logan Kinlock will get it into Landek. Knapp will find Coleman, who's back on the floor for SPU. And now Kinlock going to get another corner three, and that one off the mark. He came up a little short on that one. And DuPont back the other way for the Red Leafs, and he dribbles it out of bounds. Falcons applying a little bit of defensive pressure there, but DuPont just lost it. And Jovan Rye going to check back in for him for Simon Fraser. And the Falcons will inbound it. Mason Landek across midcourt. Latour to Knapp. And now Latour trying to get around Kokia. Puts up the shot, couldn't get it to go. As he played through some contact there. Couldn't get the shot to go down. Howard back the other way. Hands off to Kokia. And now this is Nikola Barak out there for the Red Leafs. And foul committed by Jonas Latour. That's his first. 15 foul on the Falcons. The Red Leafs have committed 6. So both teams nearing the bonus here. As Rye kicks it to Kokia. Back out to Howard for a 3 over Coleman, and that one off the mark. And Howard has not been able to find his range here so far in this one. The ball will go to SPU as the Red Leafs touched it last. 5:20 to go first half. Falcons lead it by 4. And this game has slowed down a little bit. Here's Landek stepping back, taking the 3, and that one's off the mark, but Knapp is there for the offensive rebound. And now Coleman's going to take a 3, and then that one goes down. Grant Coleman, 1 for 2 from deep. And his first 3 of the ball game. Falcons lead it by 7. Tate Christensen will get it back to Kokia. And now here's Barak. He'll get it to Christensen. He cuts toward the bucket, and Falcons may have gotten a piece of it. It's off the mark. And SPU back the other way. Here's Landek. He's going to have it taken away by Christensen. It's a held ball as Landek drove into traffic there. And the Falcons, or the Red Leafs rather, will take it back on the alternating possession. 4:33 to play here in the half. And Barak will inbound. He's out of Sydney, Australia. And Trace Evans, of course, also for the Falcons from Australia, from New South Wales. As here's a 3 on the way from Barak, and he comes up short. And Knapp ends up with the rebound. As Julian Moore brings it across midcourt with just over 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Moore to Kinlock, and now Knapp. Contested shot, couldn't get it to go. Red Leafs back the other way. And Kokia being guarded by Mora. Coleman will switch on to him. And now that leaves Mora to guard Howard. Howard gets to the bucket and had his shot disrupted there. I believe Knapp. Knapp comes down with it. And now Knapp is going to take a 3 on the other end, and this one rims out. Red Leafs back the other way. And Steve Hansen wants a timeout to talk things over with his squad. 3:27 to play here in the first half. And this is going to be a full timeout. So we will step aside here on the SPU webcast. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back inside Royal Broome Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 3:27 to play in the first half. And the pace of this game has slowed down a little bit. The shooting percentage is now the Falcons at 44% and the Red Leafs at 35%. This game has featured eight lead changes, but the Falcons have held the lead for the last few minutes here. Red Leafs, though, trying to cut into that 7-point lead. And they have possession. Kokia being guarded by Schoenerstedt. Gets it to Rye. And Rye into the lane. Puts it up over Kinloch. And that one rattles home for Jovan Rye. And he's got 4 points in the ballgame. Red Leafs within 5. Here's Knapp. Gets it to Kinloch. Knapp will go in the corner to Latour. And now Mora. Here's Knapp being guarded by Rye, trying to get around him. Does, and misses the shot. And the Red Leafs have played good defense. However, this time the Falcons come up with the offensive rebound. So they've contested a lot of the Falcons' shots lately. Mora to Knapp. And Knapp driving. Kicks it over to Latour in the corner for a 3. That one's off the mark. And it's a turnover here. I didn't catch what the call was there. It may have been an offensive foul. The shot clock was not... I don't think the shot clock was an issue there. It may have been. I'm up kind of behind some glass as you watch. I'm up to on the right end of the court. As here is Rye missing the lay-in, and the Falcons the other way with it. Here's Mora kicking it out to Knapp, and now Schoenerstedt will get it to Latour. Latour cuts to the bucket and goes around Christensen and lays it up and in. And the Falcons back up by 7, 29-22. Minute 39 to play here in the first half. Here's Kokia. Schoenerstedt switches out onto him. And Kokia will take it around him. And again, another contested shot there. Kokia couldn't get it to go. And here come the Falcons. Schoenerstedt will get it to Latour. He'll kick it back out. And now Mora will take a 3, and that one goes down for Julian Mora. And the Falcons take a 10-point lead. And Steve Hansen gets teed up. Steve Hansen, the coach for the Red Leafs, whistled for a technical foul. And so this is going to result in the Falcons, I believe they will get 2 free throws and possession. As it's an officials, the officials will get together to discuss this, and so in essence a free timeout But Steve Hansen losing his cool there and said something. Julian Moore going to go to the line to shoot. As we'll see if they turn the music off. He knocked down the first shot, and they're still playing music here. Second one is good as well. So I think whoever was controlling the music there was unaware that the game was live. It's two free throws for the Falcons, and then Simon Fraser will get possession. But Julian Mora, with Rihanna playing in the background, knocks down the two technical foul shots. And Julian Mora's got 10 points in the ballgame. Now commits a foul, though, and that is his second. As Julian Mora, 3 for 3 from the free throw line in the ball game. And here's Luke Howard going around Schoenerstedt. Couldn't get it to drop. And the Falcons back the other way with a 12-point lead. Mora having a good first half here. And he's going to take a timeout as Kefri Fazio wants to talk things over with his squad. They lead by 12, and they're trying to keep the momentum going into the halftime break, as this will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. So the Falcons opt to send Julian Mora to the free throw line there to shoot the technical free throws, and he's just 6 out of 7 on the season, so hasn't gotten to the free throw line a lot. But now 3 for 3 in this game. He is up to 90%, 9 out of 10. So the Falcons with a 12-point lead. Mora with the 10 points. Jonas Latour has 9. And both teams talking things over here. Falcons trying to keep a double-digit lead and maybe even extend it a bit as we go into halftime. This has been a close game for the majority of the first half, but the Falcons have been able to make a bit of a run here late in the half. And here's Mora driving into the lane, kicks it to Schoenerstedt. Now Mora going to take a 3 from the top of the key, and that one off the mark. And the rebound comes down. Kokia comes down with it. And the Red Leafs take it the other way. Shot clock still on. Kokia has it ripped away by Landek. And Landek back the other way. And Landek now with the shot clock off will dribble some clock here. Kokia guarding him out near midcourt. And now Landek needing to do something to get the Falcons a shot here. 4 seconds. Here's Schoenerstedt. And now Mora has it knocked away. It's going to be Falcons' ball. No, they're going to say Mora touched it last. So the Falcons don't get a shot up there. The Red Leafs will inbound it, and Schoenerstedt knocks it down. And at halftime, the Falcons with a lead, 34-22. As I mentioned, a close first half. The Falcons close it out on a bit of a run to make it a double-digit lead. 34-22 at the break. We will step aside here on the SPU webcast for the next 9.5, 10 minutes or so. And when we come back, we'll recap the first half for you, and we will take a look around the GNAC. We're the first game in the GNAC today, but we'll take a look at what happened on Thursday, how the standings sit right now. That's coming up later on in the halftime break. 34-22, SPU with the lead at the break.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back inside Royal Broham Pavilion in Seattle. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We're at halftime, and the Falcons lead the Red Leafs by a count of 34-22. It was a pretty closely played first half, though. The Falcons were able to make a run at the end of the half and pull away just a bit. But one half of basketball left. We'll see if the Red Leafs can get back into it, as they're down just 12. Both of these teams really shot the ball well on Thursday night. Neither of them really getting too much untracked as a team. The Falcons shoot 45%. That's not bad. The Red Leafs at 33% so far through the first half. So if the Red Leafs can get it going in the second half, they should be able to get back in this ball game. Red Leafs shot 33% beyond the arc, 3 out of 9. They were 9 out of 27 overall from the floor. Falcons 13 out of 29 from the floor overall, and just 5 out of 17 from distance. 29% out there. And not a lot of free throws in this game. Both teams at 100%. The Red Leafs 1 of 1, and the Falcons 3 out of 3, which includes 2 technical free throws by Julian Moore. Julian Moore actually shot all 3 free throws in the first half for the Falcons. They have the rebounding edge 19-14, and this game actually has featured 8 lead changes, but the Falcons have held the lead now for the last several minutes going into halftime, and they now lead by 12. And individually, kind of an interesting game here. The big scorers for the Red Leafs, Luke Howard with 6 and Irish Kokia with 5. But Howard is just 2 out of 8 from the floor, 1 out of 3 from distance. Kokia 2 out of 6 from the floor, 1 out of 2 from three-point range. And so just 11 points between the two of them. Toby Okafor with 5 off the bench, and Jovan Rai with 4, and Lenz DuPont with the other 2. So only 5 Red Leafs have scored in this game. Falcons have played 8 players so far, and they have all scored, but only 2 of them have more than 3 points. Julian Mora has 10 points, and just 1 out of 3 from distance, but 3 out of 5 overall from the floor, 3 out of 3 from the free throw line for Mora. And Jonas Latour has 9 points, and he really didn't shoot a great percentage from distance as well. He went 1 for 4 out there, but 4 out of 9 from the floor overall for Latour, who played 18 minutes in the first half. He's got 9 points and 3 rebounds. Jackson Knapp, just 2 points, but he has 10 rebounds at halftime and 3 assists as well. So Knapp most likely going to go for another high rebounding total in this one, already at the double-digit mark at halftime. Let's take a look around the GNAC as Thursday night, St. Martin's and Western Oregon were not in action. St. Martin's will be at Western Oregon coming up at 4:15 today. But as we mentioned, Simon Fraser with a win over Montana State Billings in Billings, and that was their first conference win. Really, they've been close in 3 out of their 4 conference losses. The only blowout loss they had was to Central Washington, but a close loss to Northwest Nazarene, and then the Alaska schools both beat them by single digits as well. Northwest Nazarene, with another win over Alaska Anchorage, they go to 4-0 in conference play. And Northwest Nazarene will be at Alaska Fairbanks coming up later this afternoon. We got games in 3 different time zones, with Billings in the Mountain Time Zone and the Alaska schools on Alaska time. But Central Washington went into Fairbanks on Thursday night as well, and they got a win, 93-74. So today we have this one going here. Western Washington is at Montana State Billings. Tip-off there is going to be at 4:15 Mountain, so it'll be 3:15 Pacific. St. Martin's at Western Oregon at 4:15, and then Northwest Nazarene is at Alaska Fairbanks, 3:15 Alaska time, which I believe is 4:15 Pacific. And then Central Washington will be at Alaska Anchorage at 7 Alaska time tonight. So those are your scores, or your scores from Thursday, and matchups coming up tonight. As next week, the Red Leafs will return home and face Western Oregon, and St. Martin's Falcons will be on the road at Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene next week. Second half about to get underway here, as the Falcons will have it to begin the second half of play here. The original starting 5 on the floor for both teams, and Knapp will inbound to Landeck. And we're underway here in the second half. Latour finds Knapp going to the bucket, lays it up and in. Good find there from Latour, and Knapp with an easy bucket. And Jackson Knapp gets on the board quickly here in the second half. And the Falcons go up by 14. Here's DuPont being guarded by Schoenerstedt. DuPont kicks it, and it's off the hands of Van Bylant, out of bounds. And the Falcons will take it back. So, not the way that the Red Leafs wanted to start the second half of action here, with the Falcons getting a bucket and then the Red Leafs turning it over. But long way to go in this one. Landeck to Moriarty. He'll get it over to Schoenerstedt. He's got time and space and can't get the 3 to go. And the Red Leafs back the other way. Here's Tate Christensen, a 3 in transition. That one off the mark. And Knapp has it knocked away by Van Bylant. And the Falcons have possession here. 19:07 to play in the ball game. And Landek across midcourt. We'll get it to Moriarty. Latour for Knapp, and he finds Moriarty going to the bucket. He lays it up and in. So the Falcons with a couple of lay-ins here. One by Knapp, one by Moriarty, and the Falcons have built a 16-point lead. Here's Christensen, a three on the way. That one off the mark again. Knapp and Landek. I think they give the rebound there to Landek as Knapp let him have it. They both converged on it. And this will be Latour posting up Christensen, backing down. And now a turnaround jumper, and that one is off the mark. But the rebound tapped out to Landek. And now Schoenerstedt will drive. He'll find Latour, but it's off Latour. And now it's still alive. Schoenerstedt kicks it out to Landek for a three. And that one rims out. Rebound comes out to Moriarty. And Moriarty will stop and pop from the free throw line and put it in. Falcons with a couple of offensive boards on that possession, and Moriarty connects from the free throw line, and he's got 7 points. And the Falcons with an 18-point lead. The last several minutes of the first half and first few minutes of the second half here not going well for the Red Leafs. Here's Christensen with the assist from Howard, and Christensen gets the Red Leafs on the board as he missed a couple of threes, gets the 2 to go. And those are the first 2 for Tate Christensen. And this one knocked out of bounds, last touched by Simon Fraser. Steve Hansen having a conversation with the official. He's got to avoid picking up a second technical, as he picked up one in the first half, which allowed the Falcons to extend their lead a little bit further. Here's Latour, a three from the corner, and that one well off the mark. It goes over the rim, and Luke Howard there for the rebound. Here's Van Bylant going around Latour, trying to go around him anyway. Finds DuPont, and DuPont is fouled by Moriarty. And DuPont will get to the free throw line. Third foul on Owen Moriarty early in the second half, so we'll see if Kefri Fazio will leave him out there. Presumably he will, as Linz DuPont gets to the free throw line. DuPont out of Montreal, Quebec, a junior. And he knocks down the first free throw. Here comes Julian Mora. He is going to come in and get Moriarty, so they are going to give Moriarty a breather and not risk having him pick up his fourth foul early in the second half. DuPont knocks down the second free throw, and he gets them both, 40-26 now, as the Red Leafs pressure in the backcourt, and the Falcons beat the press and get it across. Here's Mora. Knapp will kick it to Landek. He sets his feet, puts that one up from the corner. Couldn't get it to go down. And now Kokia is fouled by Landek. And if you're Mason Landek, you don't want to pick up a foul on the other side of half court, but that is what happened there. As Landek was trying to push Kokia toward the sideline, or direct him toward the sideline, and a little too much contact. And now a little too much contact down under the basket as Schoenerstedt fouls Howard. And that is the third team foul on the Falcons, second on Nikias Schoenerstedt. Red Leafs have not committed a foul yet here in the second half. Howard gets it to Christensen. And now Van Bylant for DuPont. DuPont finding Howard underneath. Couldn't get the shot to go. Gets his own rebound. Couldn't get the putback to go either, but he's going to draw the foul and get to the free throw line. Jonas Latour commits the foul. That's his second. And Luke Howard will go to the free throw line. Howard hit the only free throw for the Red Leafs in the first half on a 3-point play. And puts in the first here. Howard coming into the game 63% from the line. And the Red Leafs trying to get back in this. Howard knocks down both free throws, and that will help as they are back down by 12 now, which was the margin at the half. Julian Mora moves it into the front court. And he's guarded by Christensen. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Gets it to Knapp. Landak now will drive. And he'll get it to Schoenerstedt, but Schoenerstedt can't control it. Loses it out of bounds. That's going to take us to the media timeout here with 15:56 to go in this one. Falcons lead the Red Leafs 40-28. We'll be right back on the SPU webcast in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons with a 12-point lead, 15:56 to play. And the Red Leafs were down, I believe, by 16 a moment ago. Actually, they were down 18. It was 40-22. So the Red Leafs have scored the last 6 in the ballgame to get it back to a 12-point margin. And they will try to cut further into the Falcons' lead. Here's Van Bylant going around Knapp and has to kick it out to Christensen. Now back out to Van Bylant. Here's DuPont driving on Schoenerstedt, gets around him, couldn't get the shot to go. And Knapp with the rebound. And Knapp with a boatload of rebounds in this one. As he had 10 at halftime, now 12. Here's Schoenerstedt getting it to Mora. And this one knocked away from Latour. Kokia is first to get it, and he will lay it up and couldn't get it to go. Tried to reverse it, couldn't get it. Van Bylant does, though, and Van Bylant gets it to drop down through the bucket, and he will get fouled. Foul on Landak, his second. And the Red Leafs trying to get back to a single-digit deficit here. Knapp actually with 13 rebounds now for SPU. As we'll get some subs in. Grant Coleman for SPU, Jovan Rye for Simon Fraser, and Toby Eza-Okafor will sub in, I believe, for Van Bylant, as he's still sitting at the scorer's table. As Van Bylant shoots the free throw, knocks it down, and completes the three-point play. And Eza-Okafor comes in to get him. 40-31. Falcons by 9. And the Red Leafs on a 9-0 run now. And they have cut the lead in half from where it was at 18. Here's Julian Mora. Gets it to Knapp, and now Coleman in the post. Coleman will bring it back out. Here's Knapp. Shot clock in single digits. Latour gets to the bucket, puts it up and in. Latour with a good take to the bucket and lays it up and in. 11 points for Jonas Latour. And Howard loses it momentarily, gets it back, takes it to the bucket. He couldn't get it to go. And Howard is not having a good day shooting the ball from outside or from near the bucket either. Falcons up by 11, 42-31. Latour in the post being guarded by Rye. Steps into the lane, puts it up, puts it in, and one at the free throw line coming up for Jonas Latour. As Latour has now got 13 points and will head to the free throw line. Jovan Rye commits his third foul. And Jonas Latour will try to extend that Falcons lead back out a little bit here. As he's now got 13 points in the ballgame and now make it 14. As Jonas Latour, 81% from the line coming into the game. And the Falcons now lead it by 14. Red Leafs momentarily had it down to 9. The Falcons trying to keep them at arm's length. Here's Kokia trying to go around Latour, is able to get it back out to Rye. And now Rye being guarded by Landek. A three on the way from Eza Okafor, and he puts it in over Moriarty. Big shot there for the Red Leafs, as Eza Okafor now with 8 points. And he has not seen a ton of action. 9 minutes now in the game for Eza Okafor. Here's Latour, a three on the way from the corner, comes up short. And the Red Leafs take it back the other way. Just over 13 minutes to play in the ballgame. Here's Kokia out for a three from Jovan Rye, and that one splashes down. And Jovan Rye gets the Red Leafs back within 8. Long way to go in this one. And it's an 8-point margin as the Red Leafs get back within 3 possessions. Here's Landek for Coleman for a three, and that one goes down for Grant Coleman. And the Falcons stretch it back out to 11, 48-37. Here's Kokia being guarded by Landek, and now Coleman switches onto him. Eza Okafor going around Latour, and now here's Rye. Rye puts it up and draws the foul, and this will be Latour. Called for the foul, I believe. It is. As that'll be his third. And Jovan Rye gets to the free throw line. Rye with 7 points in the ball game. And trying to add to that at the line here. First one is up and rims in. Julian Mora and Logan Kenlock come onto the floor here. As Jovan Rye at the free throw line this year, 58%, just 7 out of 12. He hasn't been to the line a lot. But Matisse Van Bylant will come in for him after Rye makes both free throws. So Jovan Rye goes to the bench with 9 points. Van Bylant comes back in. And the Red Leafs back within single digits. And now Christensen knocks it away, takes the pass. Coleman blocks the shot by Christensen. And the Falcons will take it back. So Coleman turned it over and then blocked the shot to get it back. Just over 12 to play here. Kenlock to Latour. He'll hand off to Mora. Mora being guarded by Eza Okafor. Shot clock running down. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Latour. Pulls up and couldn't get it to rim in. And the Red Leafs with the rebound. Coming the other way. Down single digits. Here's Kokia. He'll try to step back. And Latour will get a hand in there. Now Moriarty ends up with it. Moriarty gets it to Latour. They didn't blow it dead. Thought they were maybe going to call a held ball, but Latour goes the other way. Can't get the lay-in to go down. And the Red Leafs come back this way. Van Bylant gets to the bucket and draws the foul. Did not get the shot to go down. This will take us to a timeout as Grant Coleman is whistled for the foul, his first. 11:21 to play here from Royal Brown Pavilion, and the Falcons with a 9-point lead, 48-39. We'll be right back in just a moment on the SP Web.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 48-39, Falcons with the lead over the Red Leafs. And the Red Leafs have gotten back within single digits a few times here, and they're trying to get a little closer here as Matisse Van Bylant to the free throw line. He just got 3 points in the game, but one of those was a free throw. And his first free throw is up and good. Both teams shooting 100% from the free throw line, as Jackson Knapp will come in to get Jonas Latour. Red Leafs now 9 of 9. The Falcons are 4 of 4. And Van Bylant trying to keep that going. And that one rims in as well. So the Red Leafs now 10 out of 10 from the stripe. And they are down by 7. And they come up with a turnover. Van Bylant gets to the bucket and draws another foul. And Moriarty protesting the call. He is whistled for his 4th foul, as he went out with his 3rd a few minutes ago. They brought him back on, and now he picks up number 4, and Matisse Van Bylant goes back to the free throw line. Trying to get the Red Leafs a little closer here, as they're down just 7. It was an 18-point lead early on in the second half for SPU, and Van Bylant knocks down another free throw. He'll have another coming up. Van Bylant now 4 out of 4 from the stripe. Make it 5 out of 5. And the Red Leafs back within 5 points of the Falcons. And this one kicked by Van Bylant. Red Leafs have turned up the pressure on the Falcons in the backcourt. And the Falcons this time will beat the full court press, as Julian Mora takes it across himself. And Kinlock had that one knocked away, but Knapp is able to get to it. Here's Mora. Going to his left, spinning around back to his right. And he has to try to get rid of it and doesn't. He was trying to go to Moriarty, but Eza Okafor with the steal. And the Red Leafs have turned up the pressure defensively. And they have another possession here as Kokia has it knocked away, and Coleman comes up with it. But it wasn't Coleman that knocked that one away. It may have been, it was either Moriarty, I think, or it was one of the Falcons anyway. Coleman ended up with it. Here's Knapp out to Coleman. And Kinlock fumbles that one a bit, but is able to maintain control. Gets it to Mora. Now Kinlock with 6 on the shot clock. Kinlock kicks it out in the corner for Knapp. And Knapp is going to draw the blocking foul on Van Bylant, as Van Bylant was moving his feet. That'll be his 3rd foul of the ball game. And it's a non-shooting foul. Kokia checking out as DuPont checks back in for Simon Fraser. Jovan Ryback out there as well. Landek had it knocked away, but Moriarty's able to control it. And Schoenerstedt gets it to Landek for a 3, and that one's off the mark. Rebound, knocked out of bounds, and Eza Okafor throws it off of Knapp. And it'll be Simon Fraser's ball, down 5 with 9:50 to play. And the Falcons lead as Christensen comes in for Van Bylant. Falcons lead was 18 near the beginning of the second half here, and Simon Fraser has erased the majority of that 18-point lead. Down just 5. Here's Jovan Rye calling out a play, directing traffic. He'll get it to DuPont out on top, and now Christensen with it. Rye for Howard, being guarded by Kinlock, and Landek trying to get a hand in there, and now the Falcons do come up with the steal. And they take it back the other way. Simon Fraser in the bonus. The Falcons have committed 8 fouls, and the Red Leafs have committed just 2. Landek with a good take there as he reversed that one up and in. Shot it from a bit of an angle, and was able to get it in off the glass, though. And a big bucket for the Falcons. 50-43. They lead by 7. Kokia went to the bench just a moment ago and is going to come right back in. Here's DuPont with a long 2. And that will put the Red Leafs down just 5. Timeout called with 8:46 to play. And I think it was Steve Hansen that took the timeout right after the made bucket. 5-point lead for SPU. And this will be a full timeout, so we will step aside on the SPU webcast. This one's getting good. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 50-45, Falcons clinging to a 5-point lead. It was 18 early on in the second half, but the Red Leafs have whittled it away. Whittled away the majority of it, I should say. Falcons are still up 2 possessions, but the Red Leafs have gotten to the free throw line. They were just 1 for 1 in the first half. They are now 12 out of 12 in the ball game. So they have gone 11 for 11 here in the second half, in the first 11 plus minutes of this half. And they are in the bonus, as the Falcons have already committed 8 team fouls. Moriarty got called for the push-off. I think Moriarty just fouled out of the ball game. He did. That is his 5th foul with 8:30 to play in the game. And he is headed back down the floor. Kefri Fazio is asking. I would think that they have it right. I think Moriarty just fouled out of the game. Fazio thought he only had 4. But they're going to double check. Moriarty picked up his 3rd. And he did foul out of the game with 8:30 to play. So not a... That did not go the Falcons' way there. Fazio had him out there thinking he only had 3. And Fazio took him out after he picked up his 3rd. But then he picked up 2 more in the last couple of minutes. And so Moriarty fouls out early in this one. And that is big down the stretch. Schoenerstedt blocks the shot. And it comes right back to Vujicic at the bucket. And Vujicic puts it in for his first 2. And it's a 3-point lead now for SPU. who's going to play the rest of the way without Owen Moriarty. They do not have Trace Evans in this game either. And so a little short-handed. Only 8 Falcons have seen action so far in this one. Only 10 are active. And we may see either or both. We get a foul call here that'll take us to another media timeout with 7:40 to play, as a foul called on Irish Kokia. But Falcons with Brian Caldera possibly going to make his debut, and then David Zachman on the bench as well. We'll see if either of them get in. We'll step aside on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Back inside Royal Broman Pavilion, 7:40 to play. If you went away for much of this second half, you have missed Simon Fraser climbing right back into the game. We get a whistle, and I'm not sure why they blew that one dead. Official having a discussion with Mason Landeck. He will now get it into Schoenerstedt, though. And Nikias Schoenerstedt gets it to Mora. Julian Mora is going to have to play a big role down the stretch here with Owen Moriarty fouling out. Mora takes a 3, and that one's off the front iron. No good. Rebound to Lenz DuPont. And here come the Red Leafs with a chance to tie it up if they choose to knock down a 3 here. Rye for DuPont. And DuPont stumbles in the lane, and the Falcons come up with the steal. Mora gets it to Landeck across midcourt. And Landeck will kick it back out for Schoenerstedt. Now Landeck back with it on the left wing going around Kokia. Tries to feed Knapp and does. And Knapp draws the foul on Vujicic. So Jackson Knapp heading to the free throw line. Knapp with just 4 points in the ball game. But he has now 13 rebounds in this game. And he will head to the free throw line. Foul committed by Sasha Vujicic, redshirt junior out of Burnaby, British Columbia, which is, of course, where Simon Fraser is located. And now 3 subs come in. Howard, Van Bylant, and Eza Okafor for the Red Leafs. As Schoenerstedt goes to the bench for the Falcons, and Coleman back out there. And Knapp puts in both free throws, and the Falcons lead it by 5. Under 7 minutes to play. Good ball game here from Royal Broman Pavilion. I didn't think that the Red Leafs were going to stay down by double digits, and I was right about that. As Falcons, though, with another turnover forced on the defensive end. And here is Knapp trying to get around Howard. Couldn't get it to go. Gets it back, spins around, puts it up and in. And Jackson Knapp with a big bucket there to put the Falcons back up by 7. 54-47. Here's Kokia for Howard. And now Kokia again. Being guarded by Landeck. Howard trying to go around Coleman. He loops it back out. Van Bylant now as Okafor, being guarded by Latour. And over in the corner, here's Howard, and that one hit the top of the glass, but it stays inbounds. The shot clock violation here. It's a shot clock violation as it hit the top of the glass, stayed inbounds, and the Red Leafs were not able to get another shot up to beat that shot clock buzzer. And so the Falcons force a shot clock violation. And the Falcons have locked it down on the defensive end the last few possessions as well. As the intensity picks up here on both ends. Here's Mora for Latour. Latour trying to go around Eza Okafor, and Eza Okafor commits the foul. With 5:38 to play. That is the 5th team foul on the Red Leafs, so the Falcons will take it out from underneath the bucket, the basket. Landek forced to the sideline. He stepped on the end line, or on the sideline rather, and Falcons turn it back over. Red Leafs the other way with 5:30 to play, down 7. And Irish Kokia dribbling, now getting it to Christensen. Here's Howard in the post. Howard trying to go around Coleman. Coleman blocks the shot. Howard gets it back, and Knapp collects the rebound as Howard missed on the second attempt. Coleman blocked the first one. And the Falcons, again, with a good defensive possession. Here's Knapp up against Van Bylant. And Knapp will kick it out. Coleman a 3 on the way, and it's off the rim, no good. And the rebound comes down to Kokia. Here come the Red Leafs with under 5 minutes to play, down 7. Kokia for Christensen. He'll get it back to Kokia. Mora on him. Christensen with Landek on him. And now they're going to say that Eza Okafor stepped out of bounds. And the Falcons will take it back with 4:39 to play. Both teams really have picked up the intensity on the defensive end in this game. With 4:39 left. Still a lot of time. The Falcons with a 3-possession lead as Okafor commits the foul on Landek. And that'll be his 3rd. As Okafor, a freshman out of Toronto. A lot of the players on this Red Leafs team. This one knocked out of bounds. Christensen touched it last. A lot of the players on this Red Leafs team from the Vancouver area, but then they also have some from the Toronto and Montreal areas as well. These are kind of the 3 of the maybe, and I don't know my Canadian geography that well, but I think those are the 3 largest cities in Canada. And check me if I'm wrong. Jonas Latour puts in the first free throw, with Toronto being the first, I think Montreal the second, Vancouver the third. And I could have those out of order, but Latour puts in the second free throw, and the Falcons stretch their lead back out to 9. Latour with 16 points. And Coleman knocks it away. Gets it ahead for Landek, and Landek lays it up and in. And the Falcons stretch the lead back out to double digits, 58-47. They're on an 8-0 run. As the Red Leafs had gotten back within 3. Here's DuPont going around Latour. Kicks it in the corner to his coach, Steve Hansen. He's not on the court as a player. There was nobody in the corner there. And this will take us to the under 4 timeout, 58-47, SPU with the lead. And we'll be right back on the SPU webcast in just a moment. Welcome back inside Royal Broham Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We're down inside the final 4 minutes, and the Falcons with an 11-point lead, and they will have possession coming out of the timeout. This game playing out kind of similarly to the one against Western Washington on Thursday. A few less points on the board, but that game was tied 74 all, and the Falcons ended up pulling away. They were ahead by double digits in that one, and the Vikings tied it back up at 74 late, and then the Falcons ended up winning at 97-86, pulling away late in the game. Still a lot of time to go in this one. The Red Leafs may have another run in them, as here is Latour getting to the bucket, and that one just drops off the rim and was bouncing around, looking like it might fall in, but Latour is going to get to the free throw line as the foul committed by Matisse Van Bylant, his fourth. Falcons won against Western Washington on Thursday without Trace Evans. They beat Western Oregon the Saturday before without Trace Evans. And now they are down both Evans and Moriarty and Henry Sandberg. And Jonas Latour with 17 now at the free throw line. Simon Fraser has committed now 18 fouls, and the Falcons have committed 9. And Latour knocks down both free throws, and it's a 13-point margin. Just like that, the Falcons on a 10-0 run over the last 4 minutes and change. Here's Howard. And Coleman blocks another shot. Grant Coleman has stepped it up defensively in this game, as he has had a few blocks now. We'll check his stat line. But here's Kokia taking a 3 over Landek, and that one rims out. Latour with the rebound. We get a whistle. And let's see here. They're going to call Coleman for a foul on the rebound. So that will send Luke Howard to the free throw line. But Coleman now with 3 blocked shots in the game. And Howard misses on the free throw. And that's the first free throw miss by either team in this game. At the 3:24 mark of the second half, Howard knocks down the second free throw, and it is now 60-48. But from the free throw line, the Falcons are 10 of 10. Simon Fraser now 13 out of 14. Falcons with possession in the front court. Landek, and we get a whistle. And we're going to get a foul called on Tate Christensen. That is his second. And it sends Jonas Latour to the free throw line again. Latour with a 1-and-1 scenario playing out here. And he knocks in the first. Latour now 6 out of 6 at the free throw line. And he'll get one more. And Latour is not one that gets to the line all that often. But he's come up with some big free throws here down the stretch. And Jonas Latour now 20 points. Falcons lead it by 14. Falcons looking for their third straight win. Here is Irish Kokia with the turnaround jumper near the free throw line, and he puts it in. And now we get a whistle as Latour, I think, got poked in the eye. He's holding his face, and we'll see if he needs to come out. I think he's going to shake it off and stay in the game. Kefri Fazio, though, is going to take a timeout to give Latour a little bit more time to shake this off. And so he wants to keep him in the game. Latour going to get looked at by the trainer, Jason DeRocher, as he heads back off the court. And David Choi, the assistant coach, heading over there as well just to see if Latour is ready to go, and he is. So, 3 minutes to play, 62-50. the Falcons with the lead. And Simon Fraser had this down to 3 at the 8-minute mark, 50-47. And the Falcons went on another run to pull back ahead by double digits. 3 minutes to go in this one, though. And the Red Leafs with time to make another run and get this close again. But not a lot of time. It's not going to be it's going to have to be a quick run, not a long extended run. Falcons with possession and a 12-point lead and under 3 minutes to play. Landek to Knapp. And the Falcons trying to use some of the shot clock on each possession here now. Landek being guarded by Jovan Rye. Steps back, puts up the 3, and it's off the mark. And comes down in the hands of Luke Howard. Here's Irish Kokia. Steps back, puts up a 3 over Coleman. That's off the back iron. Landek with the rebound, and he's fouled. And both teams now in the double bonus. Foul going on Luke Howard. That's just his first. But Landek got in there for the rebound and got knocked down by Howard. And so Mason Landek will head to the free throw line. Landek with 6 points in the ball game. Led the Falcons in scoring the other night on Thursday against Western Washington with 21. Landek gets the free throw. And now Rye will come out. Eza Okafor will come in. And Landek back to the free throw line. Puts in the second as well. Mason Landek on the season is a 65% free throw shooter. 2 for 2 there, as here's Eza Okafor off the back iron. Howard with the rebound, and he puts it back up and in. 2 minutes to play, and the Red Leafs down 12, 64-52. As the Falcons try to finish this one off and pick up their 3rd straight win. Here's Landek into the front court, and the Falcons would go over 500 in conference play as well. They started off 0-2. Now Landek is fouled by Van Bylant. And Van Bylant didn't like the call, but stops the clock, which is what you want if you're down double digits here. Van Bylant will come out of the game, and that's actually his 5th foul, so he fouls out. So the Falcons lost Owen Moriarty with about 8:30 left in the game as he fouled out at that point. And really everybody has picked up the slack. Landek, Coleman, Latour, and Landek back to the stripe again. Knocks in another free throw. He'll have another one coming up. And that one is good as well. So Mason Landek, some big free throws down the stretch here. 14-point lead for SPU as they try to put this one in the win column. Here's Jovan Rye. And he's knocked away by Coleman. Comes back out to Eza Okafor. He puts up the 3. Couldn't get it to go. Rye is there for the offensive rebound. He puts it up and in. And is now a 12-point lead with 1:20 to play. And we get a whistle here. Steve Henson now wants to take a timeout. And he's able to do that as the ball had not been inbounded yet by the Falcons. 1:18 to play. 66-54, Falcons with a 12-point lead. And have this one all but wrapped up as Owen Moriarty fouled out with 8:30 to go. And things were going the momentum was in the favor of the Red Leafs at that point. But the Falcons withstood the run by the Red Leafs and got things going their direction again. And this did play out really very similarly to the win against Western Washington on Thursday. It's not quite over yet. Red Leafs still have a faint glimmer of hope, down 12 with 1:18 to play. But Falcons closing in on their 3rd straight win. as Kokia called for the foul, and Steve Hansen is going to bring Kokia over. Kokia just picked up his second foul, so I'm not sure why Hansen is so upset at him. He's wanting him to just, defend without fouling there, but he sends Landak back to the free throw line, and Landak hits another one. And another one. And Mason Landak has 12 points in the ball game, 6 of them at the free throw line here in the last minute or so. And the Falcons with a 14-point lead. And the Red Leafs with possession. I don't think any time came off the clock there. But not a lot would have anyway. Here's Kokia taking the three, and that one comes up short. And Latour grabbing the rebound with both hands. And gets fouled. He'll head to the free throw line with 1:02 to play. Luke Howard commits his second foul. And Jonas Latour to the free throw line here. The Falcons early in the season got out to first half leads several times and failed to close out ball games. And they have their last 3 wins over Western Oregon and now Western Washington and now Simon Fraser. They have been able to withstand a run in the second half and turn things back in their favor. As here's Christensen from the corner. That one's off the mark. Coleman snares the rebound and gets it to Landak. 16-point lead, and the Red Leafs are not going to foul. Landak in the front court. They are going to play defense aggressively, but they're not going to foul on purpose as Okafor was trying to steal it from Knapp, and he does get called for the foul. Tariq Brown will come back in for the Red Leafs. We haven't seen him, I believe, since the first half. It's a 16-point game. Come on, Kefri Fazio. Let's get David Zachman and Brian Caldera in the game, as he may not do that. Jackson Knapp misses on the free throw, and I think that is the first miss for the Falcons from the free throw line today. And I'll check that. Yeah, they were 20 out of 20. And now 21 out of 22 as Knapp misses on the first one, gets the second one to go. 17-point game, 31 seconds to play. Kokia to Tariq Brown, and he comes up short on the three. And we get a whistle as Julian Mora commits the foul, and will send Tate Christensen to the free throw line. 25.1 left. Logan Kinlock is going to come in, and so is David Zachman. Caldera is active for this one, and Kefri Fazio is not going to bring him in, but David Zachman is going to get into the game along with Logan Kinlock. Caldera is, I think, kind of an emergency if Fazio runs out of players. He's got a mask that he's been wearing while warming up as Christensen knocks in both free throws. And the Falcons will get it into the front court and dribble out the remainder of this game as Okafor jumped up to touch the rim, and this one is all over here as the Falcons win it by 15. Julian Mora dribbles out the clock, and the Falcons pick up their second win this week as they win it by 15, 71-56, as they withstand a run by the Red Leafs in the second half, and they win it by 15. Big turn of events, turn of momentum in this game as the Red Leafs got back within 3. Owen Moriarty fouled out, and the Falcons picked up the intensity, made some big plays, and they were able to get it back up to double digits and win this one by 15. The Falcons end up shooting 43% from the floor overall. The Red Leafs just 32%. And really didn't get Howard or Kokia going much in this game. Falcons were just 6 out of 27 beyond the arc. That's 22%. And the Red Leafs, though, were not much better. 5 out of 20, 25%. Both teams great at the free throw line. Falcons 21 of 22. And the Red Leafs 15 out of 16. So each team misses only one free throw in this game. Red Leafs out-rebound the Falcons 33-31. But Falcons caused some turnovers. The Red Leafs turned it over 18 times, and the Falcons turned it over 14 times. And I think at halftime, neither of them really had a lot of turnovers. A lot of those turnovers were committed in the second half. Falcons end up with 13 assists, and the Red Leafs just 7. And the Falcons also with the edge in points off turnovers, 18-12 in that category. Individually, and as I was mentioning earlier, the Falcons go to 3-2 in conference play. Simon Fraser drops to 1-5. But individually, Luke Howard ends up with 11 points and 10 rebounds, so he does get a double-double, but was not particularly effective from the floor. 3 out of 15 was Luke Howard today from the floor. Jovan Rye with 11 points off the bench. He was 4 out of 6. And Toby Eza-Okafor with 8. Matisse Van Bylant with 7. And Irish Kokia with 7. So just 2 players in double figures for the Red Leafs, both of them with 11, Howard and Rye. For the Falcons, 22 from Jonas Latour. He had 5 rebounds. He was 9 of 9 from the free throw line. Just 1 out of 6 from distance, which is where he tends to thrive. But he is becoming more and more of a complete player as we see his career progress here at SPU. 12 points from Mason Landek, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and he went 6 out of 6 from the free throw line, all of those in the final minutes of the game. 10 points from Julian Mora. Those were all in the first half. And the Falcons get 9 points and 15 rebounds from Jackson Knapp. Owen Moriarty, kind of a quiet day, 7 points, just 1 rebound, 1 assist. Turned it over 5 times, but had 3 steals. And so the scoring average is going to go down a little bit. Moriarty only played 20 minutes in this game, and he fouled out with about 8.5 to go. But the Falcons with the win over the Red Leafs. And as I mentioned, coming up next week, Simon Fraser is they're going to be back home, and they will take on Western Oregon and St. Martin's Thursday and Saturday next week. And then they'll actually have a 3-game homestand. They'll get Western Washington the following Saturday, January 25th. The Falcons will be out on the road next week as they will go to Central Washington and Northwest Nazarene Thursday and Saturday next week. And they have a 3-game win streak. They will go into Central Washington in Ellensburg on Thursday, trying to extend their win streak. They get it done here, 71-56. We will go ahead and sign off here for the men's broadcast. We have the women's broadcast coming up at 4:15, the tip time, the scheduled tip time, as SPU takes on Western Oregon on the women's side. So long for the men's broadcast. Again, 71-56 the final.